I'm Abby Presley.
And I'm Moses Masilu. But before we get to that, who's going to stop the Diamond Heels? The Diamond Heels traveled to Charleston on Friday evening to open up their series against the Virginia Cavaliers, looking for their third straight series win. The Wahoos scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first to go up 2-0. In the third inning, UVA scored yet another run off a single by Alex Tappan. In the 9th inning, the Hoos closed out the game, scoring another run. The Heels ended with a goose egg, and Virginia took the win 4-0. To win the series, the Heels needed to sweep the doubleheader on Saturday. Carolina came out swinging early and took a 2-0 lead, but Virginia came back. And with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, the Hoos tied the game 6-6. The Heels scored 2 more runs and won the game in the 9th inning, 8-6, and moved right into the pivotal Game 3. There was no rest for the weary Hoos in the Game 3. Michael Bush hammered the 3-1 pitch to left field in the top of the first to put the Heels up 1-0. The bleeding didn't stop there for Virginia. Watch as Cody Roberts gets beamed to send in the 4th run of the inning. The Hoos had a solid 30 minutes. Top of the 4th, Ashton McGee shows no mercy on the first pitch, driving in 2 more runs with this triple. Carolina takes the game in the series, beating the Hoos 12-6, and the team is already focused on tomorrow night's game against NC State.
I don't think the rankings matter. I think it's going to be a big game either way, and that just kind of adds to the excitement of it.
I think we have a team that has been, the last few weeks been doing good, pitching, defense, and hitting. So if we can just put all 3 of those together, I think we'll be just fine.
I do think it's going to come down to probably, who pitches the best, most consistently, and don't walk people and don't open the door. There's probably going to be the opportunity for big innings in this game, and we got to prevent those on their side certainly, but maybe have one of our own if we can.
That's 3 straight series wins for the Diamond Heels, who have also taken 10 of their past 12 games. And here to tell us more is baseball analyst Michael Coe. Michael, what has stood out to you on this hot streak?
Moses, winning the past 2 series on the road is good enough, but what's really encouraging is who it's come against. Miami and Charlottesville have traditionally been house of horrors for the Diamond Heels, but in these past 2 weeks, Carolina has broken the trend. Carolina took 2 out of 3 from both the Canes and the Wahoos. That means UNC notched its first series win at Miami since 2008 and its first series win in Charlottesville since 2012. That's 10 years and 6 years between away series wins for you non-math majors, all in a good 6 days' work for Carolina. Now up next is perhaps the biggest game of the season so far. Carolina will take the short trip over to the DBAP to take on 4th-ranked NC State tomorrow night. State comes in with a very nice 28-7 record on the season, including an impressive road sweep of then number 2 Clemson. Now, it's technically a neutral site game in Durham, but it's so close to home for both sides. I know Coach Fox will want Tar Heel Nation to be out in force on Tuesday. Carolina would need all the support it can get.
I might just have to go and get a seat now. That's baseball analyst and ticket salesman Michael Coe in studio. Thanks, Michael.
The men's tennis team took on Georgia Tech Saturday, looking to improve its record before the upcoming ACC tournament. The Heels started strong, taking the doubles point after Tech's return of Benjamin Sigwin's volley sailed out of bounds. In singles, the country's top-ranked player William Blumberg won in straight sets. On court 4, Bo Boyden dropped the first set but quickly bounced back in the second with a little help from the net. Another ball in the net from Georgia Tech gave Boyden a 6-2 win in the third set to protect his undefeated record and clinch the match 4-1 for the Heels. On Sunday, the Heels beat Clemson outside and inside. Though both his doubles and singles matches went unfinished, Robert Kelly, the team's only senior, went out in style, winning the first set 7-5 in his last home match. A sudden downpour sent the match indoors, but the break in play could not slow down the Heels. After play resumed, it only took a few minutes for the Tar Heels to clinch the match. Afterward, Kelly reflected on his 4 years at Carolina, which brought him an indoor national championship his freshman year and a spot at the national indoors team 4 times.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies. Kind of all hits you at once. A little sad, but we have a lot more matches to play, and hopefully I can finish this thing off right.
The number 1 ranked UNC women's tennis team returned to the court on Friday against UVA for the first home match in almost 3 weeks. The Heels clinched the doubles point with relative ease thanks to wins from Alexa Graham and Jessie Aney, McKenna Jones, and Marika Ackerman. In singles, Graham did quick work en route to a 6-1, 6-1 blowout on court 3, while Sarah Devatila came back from losing the first set 6-0 to win her match in 3 sets. Al Sanford then won the final 3 games in a row to win her match and clinch the team victory for the Tar Heels.
And then as for clinching, I think it's my first time this year. Could be wrong, but it was good. I think it was a solid win for all of us today.
On Sunday, the Clemson Tigers were no match for top-ranked Carolina, even at home. Alexa Graham and McKenna Jones remain undefeated in ACC play as each took her singles match in Clemson. Jessie Aney clinched the victory for the Tar Heels, who rolled to the victory 7-0. You're going to hear her name again, Alexa Graham, still undefeated in singles competition and emerging as one of the best tennis players in the country. She's nothing short of spectacular. Kat Makinson gives us more about the player who's been so special.
Alexa Graham is a sophomore from Garden City, New York. She plays on courts 2, 3, and 4 in singles for the Heels and hasn't lost a duel this season. You heard that right. Graham is sitting at 23 wins and not a single loss.
Her focus, her determination, and just her ability to kind of play each point like it's the most important point has been really impressive to our team.
Like many other UNC athletes do, Graham says the coaches played a huge role in her choosing Carolina.
Every school I was looking at had great academics, a beautiful campus, a good environment, but I really enjoyed Bryan and the tennis program here the best.
She's just scratching the surface of what she can accomplish here. Obviously, she's really improved a lot in her doubles play, and she and Jessie are were ranked one in the country, and have done an incredible job this year.
Graham was paired with junior Jessie Aney in doubles this season, and after Aney worked with previously ranked #1 in the country, Haley Carter, Graham had big shoes to fill as Aney's partner. Luckily, they knew each other pretty well beforehand.
Jessie and I have been best friends since we've been like 14. We met through tennis. She's from Minnesota and I'm from New York. We couldn't be farther apart, but we've been really good friends.
Next up for Graham is a trip down Tobacco Road where she hopes to seal her 24th straight win of the season on Friday. In Chapel Hill, I'm Kat Makinson reporting.
And because of key players like Graham, the Heels remain #1 in the country. Graham and the Tar Heels will make the trip to Durham to take on Duke this Friday.
The men's lacrosse team looked to get a noteworthy win on Saturday against #6 Syracuse. The 'Cuse took a 2-goal lead into the second quarter. The Heels then made a run and tied the game 4-4. The Heels continued their good play and were up 12-9 with 7:22 to play in the fourth quarter, and then the wheels fell off. The Heels fell short in overtime and lost to the Orange 13-12. Carolina drops to 6-7 on the season. UNC next plays Notre Dame at 12 noon in Kenan Stadium on Saturday.
The 5th-ranked women's lacrosse team traveled to New York to take on the 16th-ranked Syracuse on Saturday. This game was close, well, at least for the first half. This goal by Kara Clages started a second-half scoring frenzy for the Tar Heels. Watch here as Marie McCool uses a lightning-quick first step to blow by her defender for the easy finish. That was her 40th goal of the season. Syracuse just couldn't stop Clages. She was excellent with her cuts and finding space in the defense. She scored 5 goals in this one. Not to be outdone, McCool scored her 5th goal of the match with this slashing run across the left side of the goal. UNC ran away with a 20-11 victory against yet another ranked opponent. The Heels continued their win streak against CANISIUS on Sunday. The Tar Heels came strong and finished even stronger, scoring the last 14 goals of the game. Ella Hazard led Carolina in scoring with 4 goals, and a dominant performance resulted in the final score, Heels 22, CANISIUS 3. 2 members of the women's lacrosse squad have a bond that goes beyond what mere teammates often enjoy. Elizabeth Singletary has the details.
Meet Amanda Dion. This is her first year playing for the UNC women's lacrosse team after transferring from Guilford College. Earlier this month, she switched over from attacker to goalie due to some injuries at the position. Now meet Josh Dion, assistant coach of the team, and her brother.
It's just a really cool, thing for me every day to be able to get to work with your sister and do the same things we did in our backyard growing up.
Josh has helped a lot in her transition to playing at one of the best women's lacrosse programs in the country. But when Josh originally took the job back in 2016, that wasn't part of the plan.
Well, at that time, she was actually at Guilford. So I was more excited that I was going to be down the street. And then, kind of the prospect of her maybe making moves and, doing all that kind of came up. But I was just at first just happy to be down near her so I could see her play.
Amanda and Josh are originally from New Hampshire. He was a two-time All-American lacrosse player at Duke from 2011 to 2014, including 2 national championships his junior and senior years. When Amanda heard he was in the works to be an assistant coach at Carolina, she didn't believe it, and certainly didn't think she would one day be playing for him.
I thought it was never going to happen. You know, the rivalry is real and it's alive today, and I knew he wanted to play somewhere and coach somewhere that he could win, and that's here, so I was really happy for him, but I never thought I would be here.
The siblings have this season and next together before Amanda graduates and heads to grad school to pursue a PhD in psychology. So they have 2 more shots at their ultimate goal, winning a national championship together. In Chapel Hill, I'm Elizabeth Singletary reporting.
The Dion siblings will face Josh's alma mater Duke on Saturday in Kenan Stadium.
Carolina and State split 2 weekend games on the softball diamond.
That means tonight is a crucial rubber match. Next on Sports Extra.
And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
As a parent, I think it's tragic that 1 in 5 children struggles with hunger right here in America. But there is hope. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. What? Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday. And I love tacos.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Each one of our journeys keeps us. Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
We'll never get older. Each one Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Friday night, the UNC'S softball team managed to stay ahead of the pack with a shutout in the first game of the series against NC State. The Tar Heels played hard from start to finish with 5 runs in the first 2 innings. Kiana Ramsey went 2 for 3 and Leah Murray scored 2 runs for Carolina. While the Tar Heels' offensive game was impressive, Brittany Pickett's pitching was straight fire. Pickett had 10 strikeouts and gave up only 4 hits to the Wolfpack. Final score, Tar Heels win 6-0. The Heels returned to the field on Saturday, honoring the seniors before the game, but that would be the only Tar Heel celebration of the night. The bats for the Wolfpack were red hot as they put on an impressive hitting display, stroking 17 hits and scoring 10 runs. The Wolfpack seemingly snagged everything in the field, flustering the Heels. It would be a rough senior day as the Heels dropped 10-1 by mercy rule in the 6th inning. And with the final game of the 3-game series tonight in Chapel Hill, we bring in softball analyst Natalie Harden to give us an idea of what we might see. Natalie?
You'd be forgiven if you've had some doubts about Carolina's softball team, considering they've gone 6-13 on the start for this season. But they're looking to prove some of you wrong. They've won 4 of their past 5 series, and they're looking to make it 5 for 6 right here tonight at Anderson Softball Stadium. We've seen some good and we've seen some bad this past weekend, but let's start with the good first. We're going game 1. Pickett went the distance for the shutout, only allowing 4 hits and striking out 10 Wolfpack batters in the process. No one offensive performance stood out above the rest for the Tar Heels, and their 6-run effort as most of the scoring game via singles and 4-run second inning. But it was more than enough thanks to Pickett's shutout performance. But what was the strength for the Heels in Game 1 was the Achilles heels in Game 2. We lost our offense and our defense, and Brittany Pickett's dominance just ran out. She allowed 4 earned runs on 11 hits, which, while not expected, isn't overly surprising considering she pitched an entire game the day before. The bats didn't have any juice either, as the Heels couldn't only muster 1 run on 7 hits, leaving 6 on base. For the Tar Heels to keep up their luck tonight and come home with the win, they're going to have pitching from someone other than Brittany Pickett. And I think we're going to have to string together some consistency to get people on base. And if you're looking for a prediction from me, I'm going Tar Heels all the way. We're looking to make it 5 for 6 right here tonight, and I'm going with the Tar Heel win. Back to you.
Natalie Hard live from Anderson Softball Stadium. Thanks, Natalie.
The track stars shined brightly on Saturday, with several athletes setting personal bests and school records. Tar Heels in men's shot put, pole vault, and javelin throw all took first place, but that wasn't as impressive as what the runners did. The men's 4x400 meter team took home first while putting up the second fastest time in the ACC this year. The women's 4x100 team took the home first while also posting the school's fastest time since 1998. The scorching time of 44:29 is the 5th fastest mark in school history. Each squad had one individual who really showed out this weekend. The 400-meter hurdles is Kenny Selman's primary event, and he showed everybody why. The senior ran a nation's best 49 seconds in the event, best in the nation this year, and a 4/10 of a second of his career best time. Last week, Brianna Usain Duncan became the fastest woman in UNC history by breaking the record in the 100-meter dash. And if you thought Duncan was content to rest on her laurels, think again. When head coach Harless Meters called upon Duncan for the 200-meter race in Coral Gables Saturday, an event in which she had never competed in her college career, Duncan didn't disappoint. She broke the school record by a recording time of 23.13 seconds.
Shalane Flanagan is another UNC runner who has made quite a name for herself throughout her career. Adam Jordan has more about her attempt to add one more piece of hardware to her trophy case.
Shalane Flanagan, a record-breaking Tar Heel and last year's New York City Marathon champion, went into the final Boston Marathon of her career looking to become the first American woman to win the big race since 1985. Even though she didn't win, her 6th-place finish is a more than impressive feat on a rainy day in Boston with temperatures down in the 40s. Eventual winner Desiree Linden stopped along the way to help pace Flanagan, who had to take a quick, shall we say, pit stop. Just being out there was a victory for Flanagan, who was forced to remain on the sidelines for the entirety of last year's Boston Marathon because of an injury. As a 4-time Olympian, Flanagan has had a ton of success, and though the result of her most recent race didn't satisfy her goal, Flanagan's place as one of the most successful runners in Carolina and American history remains untouched.
That was Adam Jordan reporting. Flanagan was the top American finisher in 2013. Even though Flanagan's legacy in the 2018 Boston Marathon will probably be a bathroom break, her career legacy is something to be very proud of. Good old Roy Williams keeps bringing in more daggum talent.
Stay tuned to find out why his players, both upcoming and former, have made names for themselves on the court.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Look at you.
You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
UNC basketball might be interested in Kentucky transfer Sasha Kalia Jones after the Wildcat granted him a release. The Heels recruited Kalia Jones out of high school before he ultimately chose Kentucky. But after coming off the bench for 2 seasons for the Wildcats, he's looking for a larger role with another team. He's a good athlete who can take it to the rim and finish with authority. He can fit nicely into Carolina's system as he can bring a needed post presence. He's from Chapel Hill, so a homecoming is a strong possibility.
From transfers to recruits, Roy Williams' newest Carolina basketball commits Kobe White and Nazir Little have yet another accolade to add to their high school basketball careers. Max Preps came out with its annual high school boys basketball All-American team, and both commits made the grade. Kobe White is on the All-American first team. White averaged 30.2 points, 10.3 rebounds, and 9.1 assists per game in his senior season. He also set the all-time scoring record in the state of North Carolina. Nazir Little is on an All-American second team. He averaged 21.7 points and 9.2 rebounds per game.
From upcoming Heels to those from the past, it was a year to remember for former Tar Heel Wayne Ellington in his 11th NBA season. Find out why his Miami teammates call him the Golden Arm. Ellington broke the Miami Heat's single-season three-point record with 226 three-pointers made this season. Watch here as Ellington makes it look easy with a pull-up three-pointer in transition. Gimme that. The best part of Ellington's career season, he's done it all off the bench. That sets another NBA record for three-pointers made from a non-starter. Ellington has been spectacular. Watch here as he hardly needs any room to get this shot off. Whoo, splash. He solidified himself as a premier shooter in the NBA with plays like this one. Awesome. Tonight, the Heat takes on the Sixers in Ellington's hometown of Philadelphia.
The annual Franklin 5K is a tradition like no other for the sorority Zeta Tau Alpha, which holds the event to raise money for breast cancer awareness. Our Caleb Watkins was among one of the runners.
The event started at the crack of dawn on Saturday morning, and the women were up as early as 3 a.m. setting up for the event.
And so many people come out here not only to run, but for the cause, and just the survivors come, we give out balloons, and it means a lot to everybody involved. So.
I was running off of 3 hours of sleep and fueled by succulent oranges to get me going, but I had to participate because of the cause. The course was symbolic of the battle against cancer, an uphill battle, but perseverance and encouragement made the goal attainable. Along the way, encouragers yelled, "You got this," to keep runners going even though their legs were about to give out and they just wanted to stop. The sorority sisters not only helped me get through the race, they made a significant impact in the fight against breast cancer.
We don't have our final counts yet, but as of right now, it's looking like we raised about $70,000.
Gorman says it hasn't been easy, but she's loved every second of it.
Just a lot of time put in because a lot of people really care about this.
There are 2 things I really dislike: excess body fat and cancer. Sunday, I and others help get rid of both. I'm Caleb Watkins, reporting.
Churning legs for charity, that's what I like to see. Thanks, Caleb.
Setting themselves up for some national exposure.
The club volleyball team was ready to volley-whop the competition.
places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola. History. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
UNC is known for its successful varsity athletics programs. Men's basketball, women's soccer, men's lacrosse, the list of national champions goes on.
But it's not only the varsity level programs that rank high in the nation. Nicole Booth shows us that the club athletes know how to win too.
The UNC women's club volleyball team is ranked 7th in the nation. This ranking earned the team a spot in this year's national tournament, where 300 teams from across the country will compete for the title.
We leave this Wednesday to head to St. Louis, Missouri. Thursday we start pool play, Friday's like another round of pool play, and then Saturday's like the actual tournament.
Zetlow says the team has had razor-sharp focus preparing for nationals. But if you walked into a practice, you'd think otherwise. You'd find them blasting music and busting dance moves.
We're crazy. I love the personality. This is like the first team I've been on where everybody has gotten along with each other the entire time.
Members of the team cite the chemistry they have with each other as the reason for their success.
It's crazy what you can do when you can just form like a tight-knit group of girls that just can mesh well together.
And they do it all by themselves. The team doesn't have a coach.
We don't have an adult coach. We have 2 co-presidents, which kind of act as captains and coach, and they do a whole lot behind the scenes and are still on the team.
Most of the team members have a volleyball background, but they do welcome newcomers to the sport, so I decided to give it a try. Now, I'm 5'1", and before this practice, I had never touched a volleyball. It took me a while, but I think I finally got the hang of it. Even without my talents this weekend, though, the players are still confident they can succeed.
100%, I believe we have what it takes. As long as we stay focused and motivated, we can totally do it.
UNC might have one more national championship to add to its collection. In Chapel Hill, I'm Nicole Booth, reporting.
Well, volleyball has never been my sport. Being only 5'9", my sports are kind of limited.
I never got the chance to play volleyball either. I always wanted to, but I was a cheerleader for a long time, so the seasons interfered with each other. Well, that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
Thanks for watching. Good night.